I know you gonna dig this.
How's everybody doing today? So here I am in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's very, very windy. You see everything whipping around me. Extremely windy. I'm kind of in this little alcove of the Empire State Delicatessen, and I'm doing a video about Shannon Hoon, one of my favorite artists of all time, lead singer of Blind Melon. This is the city where he passed away. There's a lot of discrepancy about where exactly he passed away. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take you there, show you. Right across the street, right here. So as soon as I stepped out of that little alcove, the wind was unreal, and I have a pretty powerful mic, but it was not enough to stop the wind. So I'm doing a little voiceover for this part. That's the Intercontinental Hotel in New Orleans in the business district, and that's where the band was staying on October 21st. Now, there's the band there. They were touring in support of their second album, which is called Soup. This is the album after the one with No Rain, and Soup is a great album. I highly recommend you check it out. Now, you're going to see me pointing a lot and stuff, and it's not going to exactly match up to my words, but that's okay, because off to the left is where the tour bus would have been parked, I believe, because there's a parking lot there, but the rest of the band had checked into the hotel, but Shannon wanted to stay on the tour bus. And I think you'll see in the next clip, I do repeat myself a few times, but it's only because I'm doing a voiceover now at the last minute, because I thought this footage was great. That's the ticket for the show. They were scheduled to play a show at Tipitina's on October 21st, but that show never happened. So around 10 a.m. on October 21st, Shannon opted to roam the city streets. And I'm going to take you now to the next place where he went. Instead of checking into that hotel, he decided to go for a walk. Let's go. Particularly very, very busy day here in New Orleans. This is Canal Street. That's the corner of Canal and St. Charles. And Shannon had a drug counselor with him that had been on the road with him. And they'd already played 28 shows, but they had a pretty bad show in Houston on October 20th. And he went on a bender. So like I said, at 10 a.m. in the morning when they arrived here, he went for a walk, and he went to a Smoothie King here after he spoke to his girlfriend. And apparently, he sat on the phone in a booth. This is 1995, so I'm trying to wonder what kind of phone it was. He spoke to a psychic hotline. Now that I have not confirmed. This is the story. I'm getting a lot of this information from Feel Numb, which is a great website for rock and rock history, anything like that. Feelnumb.com. I love it. They weren't really able to confirm that either, but that's what one of the employees said. That he was on the phone with a psychic hotline. It was a place right here. It's gone now. Called Smoothie King. Smoothie Kings are everywhere. Or these smoothie places are everywhere in New Orleans. But it used to be located here right at 709. So I'm very illegally parked because it's just a madhouse right now. But it would have been right where that orange building is now, Willie's. He sat in there. And then he wandered back to the hotel, and instead of going to his hotel room, he went into the tour bus. And that's where our story goes from there. I'm going to show you where the tour bus went to. It was right in there where Shannon Hoon had his last meal.
Making the album in New Orleans is obviously a very testy environment for me. French Quarter is obviously no place for someone like myself.
All I can say is that my life is pretty plain. I like watching the puddles gather rain. And all I can do is just pull some tea for two and speak my point of view, but it's not the same. It's not safe.
Now I should mention before I forget that I did do a video of Shannon Hoon's grave and hometown, Lafayette, Indiana. It's here on my channel. That was a real pilgrimage for me because I'm such a huge fan. Got a lot of positive response for that from other Blind Melon fans and Shannon Hoon fans. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. And yeah, this particularly is morbid, but I like to document locations happy and sad, and this is sad. This is the club that they were going to be playing at. It's called Tippy Tina's, right here. So he crawled back into the tour bus after he left the smoothie place, went into, I believe it was one of his bandmates' bunks, set of his own, took off his clothes, left his shorts on, folded his clothes neatly. Then the tour bus, later on that day in the afternoon, came down, parked right about here. I've heard other reports it was parked around the corner, but that doesn't make much sense. The artist entrance is right here, and I was reading, really digging deep. The artist entrance has always been here, and any small venue like this in a big city, the tour bus parks right out in front. They go straight from the tour bus right into the artist entrance. I mean, I've seen it a million times at other venues, Toronto and LA specifically. So the tour bus would have been parked here. And that's what in one of the police reports too. It was parked in front of the club, this is the front. There's 2 sound engineers on the bus with him because he was coming in for a sound check. The artist had to do a sound check in the afternoon. They tried to wake him up, and they realized something was wrong. Sorry, just a particularly loud car going by. Like I said, it's so windy today. You can't really tell by these trees, but it's really windy. Lyle Eves was the sound engineer, and he tried to wake him up, tickled his feet and everything, and he realized something was wrong, screamed for the bus driver to call 911. They showed up to the tour bus where he was already dead. 28 years old, cocaine overdose. That's October 21st, 1995, Shannon Hoon. And where they recorded Soup in Daniel Lanois studios is not too far from here. Daniel Lanois, Canadian artist who's produced a lot of big bands, particularly U2. And yeah, so they actually recorded that album in this city, not too far from here, about 15-20 minute drive. So he's laid to rest in Lafayette, survived by his daughter Nico. And of course, the band released an album afterwards of rarities and B-sides called Nico. And they still continue on, Blind Melon. They're still a great band. I mean, they're obviously, you can't replace a Shannon Hoon. You can't replace that voice, that look, that swagger. The man was born to be a rock star, and he just did not. And he lived life like a rock star. 28 years old is too far to go. Too young to go, sorry. Too young. I was getting caught up thinking, because I was thinking about, sometimes I get comments when I do videos about anybody who died of a drug overdose. There's always 1 or 2 people that wrote, just another junkie. Who cares about a dead junkie? I can't stand that. If you haven't suffered from addiction or know someone who suffered from addiction, because it's a pretty harrowing thing for someone to go through. There it is. I wasn't sure that the club would even still be here. I looked it up a few weeks ago, and I wasn't sure how old the Google. I mean, it was still online. It was still listed online, so as an open venue, but you never know with tiny clubs and stuff. But it's been around for a long time. It seems like a bit of an institution established. I can't read what that says. I think this is 1977. So this is in a strange area. I've never been to this area of New Orleans. Well, I haven't really explored much of New Orleans until now, but yeah, it's just a busy street. Back in 1995, right behind me, there would have been a tour bus parked there, and that's where Shannon Hoon, our beloved Shannon Hoon, passed away right there. Rest in peace, Shannon Hoon. Soldier on, Blind Melon. Go listen to Change right now by Blind Melon. Listen to that song, Change. It'll change you. It's an amazing song. I love you, Nell Hoon. And Shannon, like I said, rest in peace. Peace.